The world often feels loud, doesn't it? Especially when we talk about the ecological crisis. It's really easy to feel swallowed by the sheer scale of it all, the complexity and that nagging question, does anything I do even matter?
Yeah, that feeling of overwhelm is pretty common.
But what if there was this profound, centuries-old tradition that didn't just see these problems, but actually offered a clear, deeply spiritual, and, well, remarkably practical roadmap for environmental action?
A way to shift from feeling overwhelmed to genuinely empowered.
Exactly. What if it could do that?
Well, that's precisely the journey we're starting today in this deep dive, living the Quranic environmental ethic.
Okay. And this isn't about, abstract religious ideas or just theories. It's really about how an ancient wisdom tradition directly informs and inspires daily embodied practice.
Right, not just thoughts, but actions.
Exactly. So our mission here is to explore how Islamic teachings call Muslims to act with this profound kindness and stewardship, especially now in a world facing such huge ecological challenges. And we're drawing from the sources.
Directly from the foundational texts, the Qur'an and the rich traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we'll see how they offer a really distinct and powerful framework for environmental responsibility.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The Qur'an states, "And speak kindly to the people." That's Qur'an 2.83. Now, at first glance, that sounds pretty straightforward, right? How we talk to each other.
Sure, verbal kindness.
But what's truly fascinating, I think, is how this instruction to kindness, it's called ihsan in Arabic.
That's right, ihsan. Excellence, beauty, kindness, all wrapped up.
It extends so much further than just words. It seems to seep into our choices, our consumption habits, and ultimately how we treat all of creation.
Everything, not just other humans.
Yeah, It becomes this lens almost for viewing our whole relationship with the world.
A very holistic view.
So if ihsan, this deep kindness, is so foundational, how do these ideas, these principles of kindness and stewardship, translate into our most immediate sphere, our daily habits?
Right, the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, here's where it gets really interesting for me. How do our consumption choices, how we travel, our energy use, how do they connect to these, ancient, profound principles in a way that feels guided by faith?
Well, what's pretty remarkable is how directly the Qur'an speaks to what we now call sustainable living. It lays out these Quranic ethics for daily life.
Okay.
And they're not like external rules imposed on you. They're seen as integral to your spiritual path. Take moderation in consumption and waste.
A big one today.
Huge. The Qur'an says, "Oh, children of Adam, eat and drink, but do not be excessive." That's 7.31.
Do not be excessive. Israf is the word, right? Wastefulness.
Precisely, israf. And it's more than just, don't overeat. It's a direct call to shun wastefulness, overconsumption in general.
And what makes that distinct from an Islamic perspective?
It's the spiritual framing. Excessive consumption isn't just bad for the planet. It's often viewed as a form of ingratitude for God's blessings.
Okay, so mindful consumption becomes
An act of worship, a spiritual discipline. And the text even goes further, expressing this profound dislike for those who spread corruption on earth. That's Qur'an 28.77.
corruption. So that connects personal excess to wider environmental harm.
Directly, it links individual choices to the health of the whole system.
That's a crucial distinction then. It's not just about what not to do, but there's this deeper spiritual reason for how we interact with the world.
Exactly.
And central to that proactive side is this idea of humans as stewards. You mentioned stewardship. How does the Qur'an define that positive role we're meant to play? Beyond just, minimizing harm.
Precisely. It's not just about avoiding bad things. The Qur'an elevates humans to the role of khalīfah.
Khalīfah, vice-regent, trustee.
Exactly. Vice-regent or trustee. It says, Allah appointed you as vice-regents on earth to see how you would act. That's Qur'an 10.14.
To see how you would act.
Wow. And this isn't an invitation to dominate or exploit. Not at all. It's a profound trust, a delegated authority, you could say, from the Creator.
So caretakers.
We're caretakers, entrusted with the planet and its resources. And ultimately, we're accountable to the divine for how we manage them.
That adds, such a powerful layer. Accountability.
It really does. It imbues every action, every choice, with significant moral and spiritual weight. It transforms ecological responsibility into, frankly, a sacred duty.
A sacred duty. And the Prophet's own life, his Sunnah, the traditions and practices he embodied, they offer incredibly practical examples of this stewardship in action, don't they?
Absolutely. Real-life examples.
I was really struck by the prophetic habits around water conservation. It's amazing, imagine. The Prophet performed wudu, that's the ritual washing before prayer, using just one small container of water.
Just one mud. It's a specific measure.
Right, and for ghusl, the full ritual bath, maybe up to 5 of those containers.
That's it. About 4 or 5 muds. Still incredibly minimal by today's standards.
How challenging must it be to truly embody that level of conservation now? And what does it tell us?
Well, it's not just a historical detail. It comes with this powerful instruction that really challenges our modern way of thinking.
Which is,
Do not be wasteful, even if performing ablution at a flowing stream. You find this in Sahih Muslim and Ibn Majah.
even at a flowing stream.
Think about that.
Huh?
Even when water seems abundant, endless,
Yeah.
the principle holds, don't waste.
So it cultivates this deep ethic of mindfulness.
Yes, not just when things are scarce, but always. As a default setting, it's about a spiritual mindset, recognizing all resources as a blessing, regardless of how much seems to be available right now.
Absolutely. Cultivating that mindset of gratitude and conservation in everything, treating every resource like a gift.
Exactly.
And beyond water, the Sirah, the Prophet's biography, it also offers these Sirah-inspired practices in other areas too, right? How did he embody this ethic?
Oh, his whole life modeled this profound humility and mindful resource use. He emphasized walking or modest travel. And think about the Hijra, the migration from Mecca to Medina, largely done on foot.
A powerful symbol.
Of humility, reliance on God, and minimal impact. And even in hardship, he lived with minimal needs, just enough cloth, medicine, fuel.
These aren't just stories, then.
No, they're templates. Models for how to live simply, reduce your footprint significantly, and find contentment in moderation. It's a direct challenge to our modern culture of constant wanting and buying.
It really is. So, what does this all mean for you, our listener, as you go about your day?
Yeah, how do you apply this?
As you reflect on these examples, moderation, stewardship, personal responsibility, what's maybe the first step? Think about one personal habit you could green today.
Just one thing.
Yeah, whether it's how you consume food, how you travel, or just how you use energy at home. These principles offer a clear, spiritually grounded path. It's really inspiring to see these values cultivated in our personal lives or habits. But Islam is so much about community, isn't it?
Fundamentally, yes.
So how do these deeply personal ethics, how do they expand? How do they naturally extend beyond just me or my family to shape the wider community, maybe even society?
That's a crucial point. The emphasis isn't just on individual piety, though that's important. It's very much on shared responsibility and collective action.
Okay.
So home-based practices are often where it starts, where these values get nurtured.
Like what, practically?
Well, the practical steps we often hear about: recycling, composting, really trying to cut down on single-use plastics, putting in water-saving measures at home, simple things.
But it's more than just the actions.
Oh yes, there is a strong emphasis on tarbiyah, education, upbringing, teaching children gratitude for nature, maybe using Quranic verses to point out its beauty and purpose.
Getting them involved.
Exactly, engaging them in hands-on care, like gardening. These practices instill that environmental consciousness early on, and it positions them as, future khalīfahs, future stewards.
Future stewards, I like that. And it doesn't just stop at the front door, right? These values scale up.
They naturally do, into community initiatives.
So what does that look like in practice? And is there something unique about how faith communities can drive this?
Often, the mosque becomes a real hub, a focal point for these initiatives.
Okay.
So you see things like mosque-led cleanups, sustainability workshops, maybe setting up community gardens on mosque land.
Using that central space.
Precisely. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, really emphasized this collective aspect. He famously said, "Cleanliness is part of faith."
A well-known hadith.
Very well known.
Yeah.
And historically, this wasn't just seen as a personal virtue, it was understood as a civic duty.
Oh, so.
What's fascinating is we have historical examples from early Islam. Governors like Abu Musa Ashraf, he actively organized the cleaning of public streets in Medina.
Really? So it was organized?
Yes, it wasn't just left to individual conscience. It was part of maintaining a just, functioning society. It directly linked public health, environmental care, and spiritual well-being.
That's a powerful historical precedent. How these ethics really permeated society. And this idea of collective responsibility, it naturally extends into our economic choices too, doesn't it? How does an Islamic environmental ethic guide how we interact with the marketplace, beyond just what I buy?
Absolutely. Supporting ethical economy is another vital layer. It transforms our economic choices into acts of worship, yes, but also communal responsibility.
So conscious consumption, but as a group?
Sort of, yes.
Yeah.
At community level.
Yeah.
The choices we make aren't just about price or convenience anymore. They're about ethical alignment.
Okay, so what does that mean in practice?
It means actively choosing products from fair trade businesses, supporting companies that respect both the environment and broader Islamic ethics.
Meaning?
Meaning businesses operating within the principles of halal, what's permissible, but also tayyib.
Tayyib, good, wholesome, pure.
Exactly. Good, wholesome, pure. So the community is encouraged collectively to support businesses that avoid exploitation, minimize waste, and practice environmental stewardship.
Right, so if we connect this to the bigger picture.
Then green living becomes this shared act of worship. Families, communities uniting under these shared values, making economic decisions that reflect their collective commitment to justice and stewardship. It's about building an economy that actually nourishes rather than exploits the earth and everyone on it.
Nourishes, not exploits. That's a key shift. So we've talked about deeply personal actions, the ripple effect through family and community. But how can this commitment, personal and communal, translate into a broader impact, amplified impact on ecological justice, maybe even on a societal scale, reaching beyond the immediate community?
This is where advocacy and the Islamic environmental voice really comes into play.
Okay.
Muslims can significantly amplify their impact through active, faith-based activism.
Which looks like?
Engaging with existing Islamic environmental organizations. There are groups like Faith in Place, Green Faith, Ummah for Earth.
So joining forces.
Exactly. These groups provide a platform for collective action, a unified voice. It also means participating actively in public discourse, using social media, giving public talks, joining forums to promote Islamic environmental values, sharing those Quranic and prophetic ecological teachings. It's about contributing that faith-based perspective to the wider environmental conversation.
Highlighting the unique spiritual motivations.
Precisely. Showing why caring for the planet is so central from this perspective.
This raises a really important question, though. How does this movement, which is rooted in one specific faith community, connect with and maybe influence a wider dialogue? How does it bring different voices together for these, well, universal challenges?
That's where interfaith and policy engagement becomes absolutely essential.
Interfaith work.
Yes, participating in multi-faith climate forums, for instance. Recognizing that environmental challenges, they really do transcend religious, cultural, national boundaries. We're all in this together.
And policy.
And policy advocacy, yes.
Yeah.
Actively engaging with local decision makers, maybe regional or national ones too, to promote sustainable practices and policies that are rooted in these shared values of justice and stewardship.
So it connects back to core Islamic principles.
Directly. The Quranic call to Amr bil Maruf wa nahi anil munkar, commanding good and forbidding evil. That includes a powerful mandate to stand for environmental justice.
So environmental protection is commanding good.
It absolutely is. Advocating for clean water, breathable air, fair access to natural resources. Not just for Muslims, but for the entire human family and all of creation. It truly becomes this universal call to action, but one that emanates from very specific, deeply held ethical principles.
It's truly inspiring to see how that arc works, how impactful action starts with intention, right? Then it grows through consistent effort in our own lives,
The personal habits,
expands into family and community
a
engagement,
collective effort.
and then spirals outwards through advocacy to potentially a global scale. It really is a powerful framework for change.
Precisely. And the core message, I think, is really clear. Islamic ethics demand environmental integration into every single aspect of life.
Not just an add-on.
Not at all. These aren't just rules or some abstract ideals. They are pathways to deeper meaning, where simple acts, moderation, mindfulness, care, they add both spiritual depth and real ecological impact.
They transform the mundane.
Exactly. Mundane activities become acts of devotion, acts of stewardship.
So as you go about your week, we want to leave you, our listener, with just a few questions to maybe ponder, connecting back to everything we've explored today.
Food for thought.
Yeah. Which personal habit, inspired by these principles of moderation and stewardship, can you perhaps green today? Maybe it's related to your consumption, your travel, your energy use.
Just one small change.
And then thinking about Ihsan, that kindness and excellence, how might you inspire your family or perhaps your neighbors toward more eco-positive change? How can you create that ripple effect we talked about?
Spreading the awareness.
And maybe most powerfully, recognizing your role as a khalīfah, a steward. Can you use your voice in your own way to advocate for ecological justice right there in your community, connecting with that broader movement for positive change?
finding your way to contribute.
We really hope these insights offer a powerful framework, maybe a different way of looking at things, fostering that sense of shared human responsibility for our planet, whatever your background might be.
It's a universal concern, approached through a specific lens.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.